Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy John Megacycle here. Another episode of SimCity 2013 edition, SimCity 5. Every single time I gotta come in here and I gotta mess with the audio settings. Sure. Fine. Bit of a blast from the past, I guess. I took a look at some of my old videos, and I've learned a lot since I've played a lot of these games, and what I did is Lucas Bendelin, I believe was his name, he gave me the first requirement or first challenge of SimCity, and I guess the only one I ever got it was how quickly can you complete a MegaTower? And a lot has changed. I've gotten a much more decent rig since I played that game. I've learned a lot. To be absolutely honest, I have a couple of friends that got Xbox Live free, whatever, something, and a bunch of Origin games came with it, so we've been replaying SimCity. This is SimCity 5 in my brain, but this game is actually just called SimCity, or it's SimCity 2013, or it's SimCity Cities of Tomorrow, or I just call it SimCity 5. That's just what I do. I'm an old school kid. I'm used to numbers meaning a thing, so it's like SimCity. Then it was SimCity 2000, and then SimCity 3000, and then SimCity 4. Like, just make up your mind. It's like the Xbox, right? Well, it's the Xbox. Well, now it's the Xbox 360. Then it's the Xbox One. Now it's the... Dude, just numbers in order, will ya? Anyway, I'm going to choose Cape Trinity. Let's see. MegaTower. Nope. Rush mode. Mega... Fast... I can't type enough. Okay. MegaTower Rush is fine. I choose Cape Trinity for one reason, because no resources. If I can show you how to get to this with no resources, having any resources should make the job easier, right? So, everyone gets 50k to start. In prior SimCity games, you could set a difficulty level. This one's just 50k right off the top. And I think I'm going to be pretty quick on how I do this. This is kind of how I operate to kind of keep things pretty light. First of all, I pause the game, and then I get started with my work. The thing is, if I keep the game running, I'm going to have a lot of people complaining about a lot of stuff, like you don't have enough water, you don't have enough sewage, you're not producing enough power. And the thing is, that greatly limits in my opinion, it kind of screws up my approval rating. So I always just pause the game. You can pause the game even in multiplayer mode. It doesn't matter because everyone's game clock runs differently. So here's what I'm going to do. Oh, first thing I should figure out is where does pollution come from? Yep, had to re-clean the clock. Pollution is this way. I'm going to want the rail line for transportation, for manufacturing. I guess I could just use the water for that, the waterway for that as well, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use medium density avenue, which will allow me to upgrade to high density streetcar avenue later on. So at this very moment, I'm just trying to build, like, imagine the spine of a person or the spine of the city. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to... that's probably good enough chunks. Yep, we're going to get a lot of warnings attacking my spending policy. Now, these streets don't look spaced out evenly, which is a little frustrating, but that's okay. So all I'm kind of doing is I'm kind of building out some chunks. This game kind of promotes the idea that if you've got to demolish a bunch of crap and start over, that's fine. That's not a problem, because look at how tiny this city is. I've already benchmarked about a quarter of it, and the game hasn't even started yet. I'm going to go ahead and take out some bonds, because I don't care, and I'm going to need money for power plants and a bunch of stuff. What I'm trying to do in this rush, I'm not like speed running a video game. I'm not trying to do it as fast as humanly possible, but what I want to do is I want to do it as quickly game time possible, I guess. I want to waste as little time trying to get to MegaTower as quickly as possible. I'm going to hold control, 1, 2, 3. That'll let me assign an entire block. And I'm just going to do a healthy mix of commercial and residential. That looks good to me. Alright, next up on the docket are some infrastructure thingies. Any good water? There's good water over there, and if wind goes that way, that might be fine. There's a lot of good water here. I'll just chuck all my infrastructure stuff here. Pause the game again. I'm going to need at least one more turbine. If I had more money to burn, I'd go solar. Solar is a lot more space efficient, I think. Anyway, cool. We've already got some foundation. People are already moving in like crazy. This is exactly what I wanted. We're going to bump this up to medium density. I'm not going to do a ton of tutorial on this. I think we kind of covered enough tutorial with the first season, I guess I'll call it, of this. But just have a little fun, see if I could do better than like 5 episodes, or what was it, like 2.5 hours or something? Just see if I could do better, I guess. I'm going to regard this as another chunk of the spine. We've got the cash. Just roll more of this out. People will move in as long as they've got jobs and a place to spend the money. So we want to make sure we got enough of that flowing on. So, ding ding. I'm running low on cash again. Let's take out another bond. What I'm really hoping is after everyone moves in, we should be really sitting on like 7K profit. Right now I don't need police, fire, or schools until we hit about, I'd probably say like the 1,000, 2,000 people mark. Oh, let's see, what are we looking at for residential demand? A lot, but we've got a lot of residential space, so I'm not too buggered about filling in too much stuff. The streetcars, or more specifically these avenues I built, are very expensive, but this allows for good expansion and traffic reduction when we get streetcars and stuff. So right now, kick your feet up, relax. I have a nice mug of coffee right here, something to sip on while I'm playing. Good stuff. Our money has gone from 700 an hour to 2,100 an hour. It's going to hit about the 3,000 mark pretty easily without me having to change really anything. So what have we done? I haven't messed with density. I haven't really messed with parks. I haven't messed with like anything that would make this game any more complicated than any other SimCity game you might have ever played or heard of in the past. We zoned some areas. These areas are used for specific purposes. They're either places that Sims go to shop, or work, or live. It's pretty much the brunt of it. We're at 2,700 right now. Seeing a couple of frowny faces? Where's that frowny face? More people are moving in? Yeah, I'm not really... Frowny face for what? Beep-boop. Da sabor sabisa basabusa. Gosh, I love... What is it? What language do they speak? Simonese? SimCitian? Whatever? Alright, real simple. We got a high demand for middle residential class. I'm just going to go over here to park. We're going to go for the double simoleon symbol. That means what grade the property or the whatever is in. I'm just going to chuck us down. Oh, let's get something bigger. Can I do something bigger? What's this? Pond? Really tiny. Why are these not approved? Town Hall and Region. Oh, goshly goodness, I forgot. Now, I'm making quite a bit of coin. I'm just going to take a step back and pay off some of my debt. We're sitting on now a little shy of 4,000 an hour. That's not bad. I put almost realistically no effort and no work into how I set up my city so far. I have that. I need a place for sewage. We'll just get a little low density. Yes. Oh, I'd love to name my city. Nope. I'll rename it later, but that's the best I got right now is nope. Okay. We're just gonna come over here, dump off some sewage. Garbage collection. Nope. Yep. Some more of the infrastructure-y stuff we need to keep everything going. I also am going to need education, fire, and police protection. So those are things I need to be mindful of. But back to parks. Back to parks. Okay, I want a nice, big, wide boy. Yep, that's perfect. Something like that will provide a nice radius. The color in the background changes to a more hardy blue, which means it's now more geared to this kind of residential capacity. So now, a lot of these buildings are going to get knocked down, upgraded to the next level. It's going to have to take a little bit of time. So we're going to see some pretty heavy population adjustments. We're going to see our population probably dip anywhere from 1 to 2,000. And then what's going to happen is it's going to take a while, but it's going to jump back up there fairly soonish. Whenever a piece of residential or commercial upgrades, what happens is the old tenants get kicked out. There's such a low demand for commercial, I'm not going to really consider it too much. Okay, so something like this looks good. Let's do another thing like that. The inside of the city is going to have our level 2 residential stylized houses, and the outside is going to have the level 1. So we want a nice mix and match. What is this? Want to throw a huge block party all night, man, for 25,000? I'm your bro. I'm your bro, yo. And just to make sure we're going to bro it up so good, done. Extra car, extra truck, garbage truck for our stuff. So, let's start off with education. Education's important in this game for a myriad of reasons. First one being the more intelligent, or the more skilled, or the more trained, or the more educated your Sims are, the better they do in their lives. More educated Sims pollute less, they get injured less, they set fires less. So education's one of those good backbone things that we need established. How are we on our demand? A bit more light residential demand, which isn't a problem. I'm just going to keep this going on a little bit, build up a few more sections, and realistically, like I said, not really diving into city specialization, not really getting too complicated or fancy with anything. Let's just, not enough medium wealth shoppers. Okay, we're going to give that a little bit of time because we've just upgraded a lot of our housings. Actually, let's do something like that. That should help out. I know I said I wasn't going to make this too tutorial-y, but I kind of find I'm going to make it pretty tutorial-y. That's just my personality. I apologize in advance. My apologies. I'm so sorry. I'm just a nerd. I don't know what to do about it. Just can't get over it. So, making 5,000 an hour. Let's pay back our last debt. The bonds are just really to be used as a springboard mechanism, in my opinion. You want to use your bonds. I use them early in the game, get me a lot of this road infrastructure I want. Maybe this is overkill on the roads. Maybe it's overkill on a lot of things, but I like to really use it as a springboard. Really get the game going quickly. I don't want to sit here a ton of time and be like, well, no, I'm just waiting for, money. Like, that's boring. I don't want to wait for stuff. I want stuff to just go, go, go. So, I have no problem purchasing what I need to get the stuff I need done. Let's make stuff like that. Is that too big? Maybe that's too big. What's your recommendation? Nah. Let's split the difference. Okay, where's the recommendation? These lines drive me nuts. I use them. They're like guidelines for spacing. So now I took the first recommendation, and now everything's different. Yeah, I see the same thing happened over here on the right side. That's okay. These awkwardly shaped areas are fine for maybe more infrastructure-y stuff. What do I need? Not enough medium wealth shoppers. Okay. Second verse, same as the first. Do something like that. Like that. That should add a lot more medium wealth everything. We'll play most of this game, if not the entire game, on the fastest speed. Again, trying to limit how much time I'm personally sitting, twiddling my thumbs, wasting energy. Kind of a thing. Alright, we've already got our first fires. I was hoping to get a little farther before that happened, but that's okay. I'm going to pause the game. Again, using the bonds as a bit of a springboard. So, fires will burn out of control like crazy, and because this is a single-player game, what'll happen is, because I'm playing by myself, I can't purchase services or anything from anybody else. If you play in a multiplayer situation, when the game wants to cooperate, which is borderline never, but when the game wants to cooperate, you can share resources and responsibilities with other members on the server that you're playing on. And it's in theory, a lot of good fun. So I could do, like, a lot of power production. I could sell my power to everyone on the server or in my region, and someone else could work on water. Like, that's in theory how it's supposed to work, but I found it's been hit-miss when I play with my friends. It either works flawlessly or not at all. And by flawlessly, I mean a couple of hiccups here and there. Okay, so we have fire. I'm going to take a second here and work on some of the more infrastructure-y things like education. Education is a candle that has a long burn time. And by that, I mean you can't plop it down and expect everyone's going to be smart. It's unlike a fire station or a police station or a clinic. If I throw down a clinic, bam, I got medical coverage. It's done. I don't have to worry about it too much. With a school, people have to be taught. So it takes a while for it to really, like, replicate down throughout the system. I didn't build one of these already, have I? No. Okay. Let's move this over just a little bit so we can expand, because I'm very sure I'm going to need more classrooms on the quick fast. But let's get our bus infrastructure figured out. Hello, hello. Bus. 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 The game never really informs you if there's a benefit or a negative to throwing down a ton of bus stations, so bus stops, so I just like, here, there you go. Spread the wealth. Cool, our fire patrol, everything's looking good. In order of operations, my recommendation always is fire coverage. If you lose stuff because your buildings are being burned down, fire coverage is the first thing that you'll find that you're missing, and you're missing it hard. Police and crime, you could get along with a little bit of crime. A little bit of embezzling, maybe a little bit of arson, maybe a little bit of theft. You can kind of get along with that for a while. There's going to be a breaking point, but you can let it sit for a while. The other thing is, like, clinics. Yeah, you'll want people to be able to... What's going on? Not enough garbage trucks. Okay. You'll want medics. You'll want medical staff eventually, but it's another thing that you can kind of wait on. Oh yeah. Are we still doing the... I didn't win the event, did I? Oh, rats. 25k would have been nice. Actually didn't see it. I've got the sun hammering me right there in the eyes. I couldn't really tell. That's a lot of garbage cans. Wowzers. Okay, let's double down a little bit on that. And that's probably fine. Oh, right. Back up. Order of operations in my mind is fire station, education, and then police or medical, depending on how you're feeling. Realistically, I want to keep our income above 4,000. Again, we could specialize at any time. My favorite specialization, to be absolutely honest, is the mining and the drilling and the manufacture kind of side of things. We could easily do gambling. Gambling is a very simple way to pull in a little more cash. Only real issue with gambling is crime. It's so much crime. Brings in a lot of crime. I see 350 out of 350, so we're going to take a little bit of a break here. Cool. I want a robust education backend. Education is also important because, I think I mentioned, educated Sims will recycle more often. Which means actually two things. First of all, less trash will be generated because they're recycling. And if they do indeed recycle, what's awesome is they'll be turning the recycling into product. The product specifically is... Oh, I need an upgraded city hall, a department of utilities. Okay. You can make alloy, metal, and plastic out of stuff. It's actually really, really cool. It's free money is what it is. So investing heavily into education is just as important as investing heavily into any other field. A little bit of rubble there. Not too shabby. Okay, people want medical coverage. What is our demand right now? We have low demand across the board, which is cool. It means I'm checking all the boxes. It's not cool because I want a really high demand for, like, everything. I want to get the game really going. So a little bit of stagnation isn't terrible, but it doesn't help me do what I want to do, which is build a MegaTower and complete it. I'll just do that. Okay, let's talk MegaTower. MegaTowers start off at 120,000. If we want to really break it down to brass tacks, 20,000 simoleons per tier, and that's the low-end apartment tier. There's 8 tiers. This comes with my first tier, so I need 7 more tiers of apartment complex and a crown. The crown, I think, is 60,000. So let's see, 7 times 2 is 140, plus the 60 is 200,000, plus this 120. The grand total for me to beat this challenge is 320,000. It's going to be a crap MegaTower, but that's the bare minimum for apartment complexes on every single tier, the base tier, and the crown I want, which is going to be solar power production. Once you get 1 or 2 of those solar crowns, you don't even need power generation. So, a strat we could do is we could just kind of sit here and wait. We're making, what, 5k? 5k... let's just pay that off. Always use bonds as springboards, not as hemorrhaging, oh my gosh, I need money. Alright, we're making a little over 5k an hour. That's not too bad. We can just sit here with our current standing, don't expand, don't do anything, and we can make that work pretty well. The only thing that, to make that interesting though, is I'd love to get into some sort of specialization. Now, we don't have any natural resources here. No mining, no refining, no drilling. So what I like to do, like my deal, is I'll go into trading and make something else. So what I'll do is I'll go into trading and I'll purchase alloys and plastics and make processors, and then I'll sell the processors. You can push farther and make TVs and computers, but it's a pretty simple, straightforward thing to make a good amount of coin. The other kicker is I would get plastics and alloys from recycling anyway. So it's really, really cool. But I need to start here because I need the trade port. I guess need is not correct. I would definitely want a trade port. So I need to trade HQ, pop 3 different storage silos, trade and global market. Okay, and that's all. Oh, I have to do all that. So I'm going to have to obviously start off with trade depots and work my way up to processors. Have 5 medium tech industrial or 5 high tech industrial. Okay, let's work on that. I need to think of the entire end game because I'm not generating the resources myself. Need to make sure we've got it. So this is all low end road, right? High density, medium density. And while that's happening, I'm going to want a formal. Something like that. I'm going to need high density commercial. Let's kick some of this into medium density. So upgrading houses and infrastructure, and I guess the buildings themselves really relies on a couple things. First of all, are the streets wide enough, big enough to support it? Second, is the property value big enough, high enough to support it? And then when it comes to industrial, do you have a working staff that's big enough, smart enough to use it? Let's get all this upgraded to high density street. The higher the density, the more traffic you can handle. The bigger the buildings you can build on it. So I'm just kind of waiting a little bit here. Already upgraded that a bunch. We should get a notification fairly soon stating that our industry is ready to move on and build bigger facilities. We should get that notification pretty soon, I feel. We're gonna do high density street. Nope, cancel. We'll do a high density there. Medium density here. And let's pop this into a high density. High commercial demand, okay. Industry, commercial. I like to have my shops interspersed around my residential. I think it makes sense, right? Sometimes there's shops, like in a city, there's shops all over the place. There's not just like at the core of the city, okay, here's all the shops and that's it. We're not selling anything anywhere else. You got your little gas stations. You got your bakeries. You got your sugar milk roasters. Stitch in Time Fabrics. Horton's Alley, bowling alley. Purses. Okay, I don't get that one, but that's all right. Farrah's Florid Florals. Farrah's Florid Florals. Okay. Sure. Moore's Liver Lovers Restaurant. Ew. Beans and Leaves. Okay. Lubing Gas. Okay. Brewston Roasted Beans. Gadoff's Fine Catering. Godoff? Good. Okay. What the Shot of gluten? Skip. The Big Moose Steakhouse. Red Meat Steakhouse. Okay. Jerry's Gas. Okay. Regional House of Discs. Okay. Oh, pancakes. Discs, I guess. Okay. And sugar milk. Okay, that was a fun little journey. Oh, I haven't been paying attention. We're sitting on almost 80,000 again. So, again, using this kind of a theory, we might bulldoze all this crap and do whatever else we want with it. But what we've really promoted is high growth. Very quickly, we're not wasting any time to get the game going. And we've got a really solid income. I think this strat that I'm showing off, that I'm kind of displaying, works awesome for beginners, pros. We're not building massive infrastructure stuff. I still don't have a police station. I still don't have a clinic. Like, those are things to really take into consideration. If you don't go way too high on some of the stuff, it doesn't really hurt that bad. So, okay, we've upgraded. I would love a Department of Utilities. Department of Utilities gets me a recycling station. It gets me proper sewage sanitation. It gets me a lot of stuff. See, right now, we're dumping our sewage into the field, which is not great. So this is where we're going to have to make some bigger decisions on how we want to run our city. I definitely think proper sewage sanitation is, like, critical. So I'm going to chuck this down. It's going to start to tear into our budget a bit, but we're still making a healthy 5K an hour. This is 0% a big deal to me. In between my YouTube episodes and now, I was playing with a couple people, like multiplayer style, playing SimCity and everything. Do we have workers? Okay. This just gets shut off. I'll destroy it later when I have scrubbers, but shutting something off doesn't really matter. When I was playing with a couple of people that were just trying to learn SimCity, I would do like this kind of a setup here. Big backbone lines for your streets, for whatever you can afford. Nothing's really stopping me from bulldozing this and chucking a MegaTower here. We already have the infrastructure for the best roads. And this is like what I would call a good start city. So what I would do is I would, in a multiplayer game, I would abandon this city straight up. And I would just go start something else. And then whoever needed a little help, like getting experienced with the game, they would come in and retake this spot. Ooh. Hey, our first Tech Up Industries, I think? Yeah, that's our first medium class or high class industry. Oh, another one right there. Nice. So yeah. Sorry, I might be rambling a bunch. It's been a while since I played this game, so it's like all the muscle memory is just starting to kick back on me. It's like, oh yeah, then this thing. Oh yeah, then I do that thing. Oh, then there's one more thing. You know, all that's happening. So good feels, good vibes. Still really solid budget. Again, no medical, no police yet. How is our police situation? 3 crimes committed per day. Like, that's not great, but that still is saving a lot of my bottom line, so I'm pretty okay with it. How are we on microchips? F5. Okay, we still have 0 of medium and high tech structures. Oh, because they're still being built. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got our 5 right there. Oh, saw the little thing light up. How are we on power? A little bit of excess. Let's add another turbine or 2. as I mentioned before, the MegaTower oh, maybe I didn't mention this, but the MegaTower is really designed in this game to be a population center and not a profit center. So, will a MegaTower make money? Yes, it absolutely can. You can have a tourism crown, you can have parks, you can have a lot of stuff that makes it really, really make money. You can really do that. I use mine for more just residents and parks and education. And that, I find that really helps out a lot for my bottom line in the long run. But yeah, you could ease. Oh, yeah, and power generation. I don't know if I just said that. This coffee, I made it too weak, I think. The power of coffee. Yeah, they can generate, I think, 200 megawatts with a crown, a solar crown, which is amazing because it takes up no more room. And if I were to try to generate 200 megawatts with the wind power, I would eat up a ton of space. Our workers are dying off. Okay. We're making almost 7,000 an hour. It's time to double down on a bit of infrastructure. What's our problem with education? Classrooms are full. Let's go ahead and pause while we do some cleaning up. Let's see. Do you have a quest? Get a little class. More classrooms. Okay. Sometimes you can get a quest line. I was almost hoping we would get it for this episode, but that might be a little cheaty. There's one that's literally, hey, can you build a MegaTower? If you can build a MegaTower, here's $80,000. $80,000 is a significant chunk of the original requirement to build a MegaTower. Like, that's a ton of money just thrown at you and be like, hey, can you do the thing? And then you go do the thing. And it's like, okay, sure. Medium tech industrial, high tech industrial. Oh, right, I wanted to do other stuff, like police and medical. Crime has the upper hand. We'll have to fight Crime Man. No, is Crime Man the bad guy, or is Crime Man the good guy in this situation? I don't know. I started a narrative in my head, and now I don't know where the hell it went. Fighting the forces of evil, Crime Man, and his sidekick, Larceny Lad. Team up to fight the forces of crime. Crime is just some anamorphous kind of a creature now. It's just fighting the forces of crime. It's just, oh no, Crime Man! Crime has the upper hand. Go fight all the crimes. Fighting the I'm just giggling about that now, man. Fighting the forces of crime. It's just one guy. It's just one guy named Crime. That's it. Alright. We've added a lot of infrastructure. More education, health, and police. Where's police? Police, there it is. Wait, did I already have a police station? No? No. Okay. Weird that that's costing me so much, isn't it? Huh. Well, I did add a bunch of cars to try to catch up on where we were in our deficit, so that's okay. Budget, still 5,000. Really healthy. We're in a really healthy situation right now. With a quick build strat. I keep calling this like a quick build because, again, we take out the bonds, slap down a ton of stuff, and just get right to it. I'm not laying down a plot and being like, okay, now what? And then another one, okay, now what? Yeah, I'm not wasting a ton of time here. Just zoom! Zoom, zoom, zoom! I think I already had a library somewhere around here. But you're not gonna tell me? I legitimately don't remember if I built a library. How much is this? 1,600 an hour. A library is 100 an hour. So what's our budget? 1,740. I must have a library around here somewhere. Okay, very good. There we are. Okay, I didn't have a library, otherwise that would have shown up. Education level 2, we're training, or we're teaching 708 out of 945 students. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Still around that, yeah, 4,500 income. That's pretty sweet. Okay, what's your problem? Lots of health issues. Treating 10 patients. Our treatment capacity is 10. 6 waiting. We need more waiting rooms. Just clean this up a little bit. There. There. Okay. That should even out very nicely. Profit is still like around 4,000. Yeah. Yep. So, a couple things to take note. Because we upgraded our city hall, we could take out a much larger loan. If I wanted to just cheese and rush to MegaTower as quickly as I could, 50,000 is the number of the bond we could take. I could take out 3 of those. That's 150. We could start our path to MegaTower right now if we wanted to. That is very doable. We could do it. But the problem is, like I said, I don't really see MegaTowers as a profit center. I want to have something that give me a little more cash in the bank. So let's start talking about specialization. What I'd like to do is slap down... Oh, we're still waiting on this. 0 medium tech industrial buildings so far. Are you sure? What is this? Our tech level's still really, really low. That's why they're not counted, maybe. Tech level. Well, that'll happen with education. And maybe I need a college. Maybe I need a college or a community college for that to start coming up. But we can still get some work done with the money and the technology level we have. So let's just do that. What I would like is start talking about trade. So I want 1 trade depot. Let's start with 1. Yes, add storage. What I'm going to want... let's see, metal, alloy reclamation line. Okay, so I'm going to need a recyclery first. So, again, we're just going to use this as a springboard. Recycleries are very expensive, so I'm just going to take out 3 bonds. We have enough regular income that that's not an issue. So I'm 0% worried about any of this right now. Too close to existing bra bra bra. Okay. Too close to existing bra bra bra. How about this? Is this good? Plenty of space? Awesome. Let's go to trash. Recyclery. Right there's perfect. Yep, people are going to be mad about it because recycling stinks. But what we'll do is I will clean that up real nice with some parks. And a little more... let's try to maximize the space. So 1, 2, 3. And I think that's good. Okay. Periodically, recycling trucks will go and pick up recycling. They will come back and they will drop off what is called recyclables. The recyclables will be broken down into plastic, metals, and alloys. I can do whatever I want with them. The idea is to take the alloys and the plastics, move that right into what would be processor production, and then it would be a really great way to make some money. But for right now, I just need a little bit of side income. I just took out a bunch of bonds, a bunch of loans. So I'm adding metal, alloy, and plastic. I'm just going to sell this stuff right off the top. So, hello? Hiya there. Export, export, export. That's going to provide a really good amount of money. But again, I'm using my bonds as a springboard, and I'm completely tapped out right now. We also really took a hard hit to our regular budget. I keep wanting to say annual, because I believe annual is how all the other SimCity games operated. This is done in like an per hour. As you could, maybe you can't see, but in the very bottom left, that's where we have a clock running all the time. And it's on a per hour, per in-game hour basis. So, things are looking really good. I like this. This is feel good. We've got a nice amount of infrastructure, or infrastructure is not the right word. economic prowess there. So that's gonna, all the bonds are gonna be paid off pretty freaking lickety-split quick, to be honest. Our tech level is still crap. I'll work on that. We'll probably double down into a community college or something later, but for right now, this is good stuff. Now, let's talk about the materials a bit more. Recycling trucks are going to go out and get stuff, as I said. Here's the important note. When they separate all the products and they bring it here to the Trade Depot sells it. Sales from materials, purchases for materials, and a couple other things do not show up in our hourly budget. What they will show up as is a recent transaction, but they'll never be reflected down here because of how variable it is. In 1 hour, I might have 1,000 crates of processors or whatever it is that doesn't sell. And the next hour, I might have 5,000 because of my manufacturing that does sell. Like something like that can happen. So because of the variability, it'll never show up here in profit loss or monthly profit transactions, I don't think. Or maybe it will because monthly profit plus transactions encompasses this as well. But if you're looking at your money down here and you see, oh, I'm only making 1,600 whatever, don't worry about it. Once we start shoveling product out the door, that number is going to be less and less and less important. One of the cities I have working on a multiplayer server with some of the other people of Megacycle Entertainment, I'm losing 150,000 an hour. Straight negatives. 150K in the red. But I'm selling so many computers and processors and metal because I'm taking the plastics and the alloy and I'm turning that into processors and stuff. I'm making so much money that way that none of that matters. So that budget doesn't have any bearing. Oh, I didn't mention that I'm sitting on like 88 million in that game. I'm sitting on a disgusting amount of money. Alright, we've added a bunch of industry, bunch of manufacture, recycling, blah blah blah, whatever, and now we're getting notified that we need to do something about it. The close needs power. I just added more power. Are we still low on power? What the heck? We have an excess. Oh, it just takes a while for the power electron deuteron thingamadoos to get to where they gotta go, right? Is that the issue? They have excess. Well, let's tap this up a little bit more. There. That seems more than reasonable. Should put my megawatt access to 8. Something? Oh. That's the problem with wind. It is a mite variable. But that's okay. Recyclables, I don't think will really kick on until maybe a full day after you build it. But again, it also is related directly to how educated your Sims are. Uneducated Sims just don't recycle. So maybe I need to throw down a community college to really get this kicked off. So maybe a slight order of operations error here. Maybe I should have beefed up my school before I did anything else. Yeah, once we get a community college online, I think we'll be okay. The education level is actually looking good. It's something I guess that this game... Oh, there we go, recycling per day. And look at how much less garbage we're collecting. Okay, so maybe I just learned something here. I think I understand it that your education level is how intelligent your people are in general. If you want to have a conversation at a dinner party about politics, how educated are your people to have those kinds of conversations? If you were to say something like, can you explain what quantum mechanics is to me? Maybe a very educated person, even if they're not into quantum mechanics, might be able to say a sentence or two about it, which is way better than a sim that might be like, quantum what now? I don't even, I can't even, pulling a goofy. So maybe that's the difference. So education level is the intelligence of every Tom, Dick, and Harry of your city. the tech level is the technology level of your industry. How effective is your industry straight up? So maybe that... So we're doing good. We're doing good with the education. But the problem is our tech level's still kind of garbage, and that's what I need the community college for. Been a while since I touched the game. Like I said, played a little bit with some friends. I don't ever claim to be a master of anything. I like to think I'm alright, but yeah, I'm not triple black belt pro. So yeah, we cut our garbage can demand by like 75%. At least that's what it felt like. Okay, we could build the mayor's house. I don't really care about that. The mayor's stuff, the town hall stuff puts population requirements on things. Which is fine. That's a fine requirement, but like, I don't get the mayor's house. Does it make people happier? I have to pay $100 an hour to have it there. That seems dumb. And then mayor's mansion raises high wealth land value. At least that does something. But $100 an hour. Oh, I guess that's cheap. That's a really cheap park, maybe. Okay, for our first day, this UI scaling is awful. Let's see. We got about 1/4 of a pallet of plastics, metals, and alloys. That's not too bad. We've collected all the recycling. More people is... That's a good start to a sentence. More people are going to add more and more to those numbers. So, increase population, increase education value. These things will really help. What I want to save up for is our community college, though. So I don't mind sitting around just a little bit. We're on 25K. We're paying off our bonds slowly but surely. Like I said, once we start getting enough recycling in, the recycling center and the trade depot are going to completely pay for themselves. So, super duper not worried about it. How much you talking here? 42,000? I'll just have to wait a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. The academy, what do you want? Hey, Mayor, want to do a fireworks show for everyone. How much you gonna pay me? 50,000? Safety. Meh, might cause some fires, but yes, do it. If I remember, this quest line is bugged. Oh, got some more learning going on. People are dying. Are you sure? No one's waiting. And we have plenty of treatment capacity, so... I believe this event is completely bugged. You have 6 hours left. Yeah. When, every time I've done this, there have been times I completely failed it, and like an entire block has been flatlined by fire. Game don't care. Breaking news. What is this? Zombies? Looking for brains. Come from clinic. Looking for brains. Well, I got enough police, just run them over. Somebody get Jill Valentine out here? What do you want me to do? Hey, fireworks guy, you want to set some zombies on fire? That'd be super. This is a weird event. Does the sunlight kill zombies? Because that should only happen to vampires? Like, how do I stop this? Like, I don't have a military. This game doesn't have, like, a military component. It did in, like, what? SimCity 3? Or 3000 or 4 or something? Like, it had something of a military component. Did I fail it? I failed it! Holy crap! I've never failed that before. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I never failed it because I've played multiplayer and I'm in a single-player world now. Interesting. Okay. Well, easy come, easy go, I guess. Not too terrible of a deal. We only lost a couple houses. The zombies are still a problem. Would love it if somebody would deal something with that. Also, who's lighting off fireworks in their kitchen, for gosh sake? I'll never know. Alright, what time is it? It's 1 in the morning. Do I have some refuse here I gotta bulldoze? Oh, wow, okay. It's hard to see at night. It's genuinely really hard to see at night. Let's nuke all that. I think we're done. We're good. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and pause here. That's not bad for a first episode. It's like a comeback kind of a thing. I'm happy with how we've got everything set up. Like I said, recyclery, trade depot, all that stuff was a heavy, heavy investment. But I kind of feel that's going to pay off. We've got really high-end infrastructure in terms of sewage treatment plant. We're going to also do a water pump. A water pumping station, which is also very expensive, but incredibly worth it. We'll get to that eventually, too. Anyway, Episode 1, I guess this is Season 2 of the MegaTower Challenge. My name's John Megacycle. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope to catch you next time for more SimCity 2013. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Thanks for checking out my video. I also want to take a moment to thank all my supporters and donators, and if you'd like to join up with me and game with my crew, all the information to get connected is in the description below. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.